Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. It's a beautiful sunshiny day here in North Carolina after freezing rain on Sunday. So I'm really excited to see the sun out and all that ice gone. There are a few things in the winter that I don't enjoy, and one of them is ice. When there's ice out on the roads and the trees, it's not a good scene. So I'm really glad the sun came out and melted everything away. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend and did something fun for your family fun day. We went to my son's basketball game and we went out to eat as a family. So we had a really fun time Saturday and enjoyed being out and about because we knew that weather was coming. This week we are working in our kitchen. We're going to declutter and get rid of some things that we don't use in the kitchen, get the counters cleared off and wiped. And as you're doing this week, I want you to think about the things you use regularly in your kitchen. Figure out what you really need to have on your counters and what things you can put away in another location. It'll really help you have more space to do your menu planning and food preparation if you have counter space. Good morning, Joanne. She said, I wish they used sand or salt on the roads in your state. They do use sand and salt, and they had sprayed it down really well on Friday, but it still just doesn't take care of all of it. And most of you guys know I live in the woods and we have a dirt road. So whenever it gets frozen, it's kind of hard to get in and out because we have a couple of big hills. So we've learned over the years how to navigate and deal with it, and we know when to stay home and we know when we can try to get out. But our state does a fair job. I mean, we're not set up like northern states at all. We don't have a whole lot of snow removal equipment, and they'll put out salt and sand. But even today, some of the school systems were affected by the road conditions this morning. So we do have issues in the south when we get ice. So as you're working through the kitchen, also look at things that might need to be replaced. There were a couple of my appliances that I replaced when we did our kitchen renovation because I had had them for a very long time, and they were showing wear. So I was checking on their plugs, checking the wires to make sure everything looked good. And if I felt like they didn't look safe or they looked like they need to be replaced, that's what I took care of when we did our kitchen renovation. And every so often it's good to do that. Good morning, Charlotte and Katie. Katie says she needs to clean her cabinets out to make room for the stuff on her counters. Not a ton of counter space or cabinet space. Yes, and sometimes cabinets are made awkwardly. They're sometimes made not very deep, or the shelves are put too close together where you can't put that tall stuff. And so you have to work with the space you have. And a friend of mine's been working on her kitchen, and she's been trying to find things that worked better for the height of her cabinets where she wasn't losing things back toward the back because of the way she was putting things in there. But do work on what's on those surfaces. Get rid of the appliances you aren't using anymore. There were a couple of things I haven't used in years. You know, the little electric grill thing that was really popular several years ago. I let go of that because I wasn't really using it. And I have 2 Instapots now, so I decluttered a couple of my crock pots. And so the one big crock pot I kept we used for different things, and my husband used it yesterday for a big pot of beans. So we do use our crock pot some, but that Instapot has pretty well taken care of that. I let go of the rice cooker because my Instapot took care of the need for having the rice cooker. So look at any tools that you have in the kitchen that are multifunctional, that take the place of something else, and see what you can let go of. My KitchenAid mixer always sits on the counter even though we don't use it daily because it's just too heavy to move it up and down. And I don't have a cabinet with one of those little shelves that will go up and down automatically. So I don't like lifting it from a bottom cabinet, and it's too heavy for me to lift it back into a higher cabinet. So that's one of the appliances that does keep real estate tied up on my counter. But I'm okay with that because when I use that KitchenAid, I'm really happy I've got it. Your home blessing today is to change sheets. Monday's the day that we get that laundry going again because a lot of us have taken off Sunday. So get your load of sheets going. Check your other loads of baskets and get them sorted out and ready to go. Use your timer today so you don't forget to move it from the washer to the dryer or go back and fold it once it's dry. This morning I folded a load of clothes at 5 a.m. and it took me 7 minutes. So I know that it's possible to do that, and it takes me about 2 minutes to put it away. You just have to work in that routine and just do it. Set your timer and tell yourself you'll spend 5 minutes at it. If you're behind on folding, sit down for 15 minutes. Sit with the kids and talk to them while you fold. There's lots of ways you can occupy yourself while you're folding clothes. And I know for some of us, folding laundry is a big task. So get those sheets changed, get the laundry going. I was asked last week about getting started with decluttering and what to do with routines. What routines do I keep? And so I wrote about that on my blog this morning. The 2 things that help me the most around the house are keeping my sink shiny and keeping the laundry caught up. If everything else is not getting done on a particular day due to being busy, or if we're sick or whatever, if my sink looks good and my laundry's moving along, I feel like I'm in control. If those 2 things fall to the wayside, I start feeling stress and anxiety. So if you're wondering where to start with that shiny sink and get the laundry moving. Those 2 things will help you. If you're not dressed down to the shoes, take care of that. One thing that I do regularly is I get dressed completely to the shoes before I get started on my day, because that's my signal to my brain that it's time to get moving. Katie says she was skeptical about it only taking 4 minutes to unload the dishwasher. It took her even less with her little ones underfoot. We put these things in our mind that our tasks are going to be really big. And sometimes they're not really big at all. It's just that first step of getting started and doing it. Good morning, Susan. She let lots of paper clutter go on Saturday. Fantastic. I worked on our taxes over the weekend and I got rid of a few papers. Right now I'm in that sorting and trying to decide what needs to stay in the files and what I can let go of stage with my papers based on our taxes. I'm really good about letting homeschool papers go. I'm really good at dealing with the mail. But I do have to make sure when we do our tax return that I have all my paperwork handy. Tamara says that her daughter and son-in-law have the flu or food poisoning, and she's babysitting her month-old grandson, and she's starting on her routine. Enjoy your day. Those days are very precious times, and you know how fast your kids grow, so soak up that time with that grandbaby. Dinner tonight on my schedule is pork chops, but I'm going to take a look in my refrigerator. I think I have enough leftovers from yesterday that we probably don't need to cook today. So I'm going to take a good look at that this morning right after I get done with this video and make sure that I know what we're going to do for our evening plan. But it looks like it's going to be a pretty easy day on our food at least. And I don't know if you can see behind me, but I got 2 things in the mail over the weekend. I got my proof copies of my new homeschool planner. There's going to be a pretty color version, and there's also going to be a little more economical black and white version. Right now they're on Amazon, but I am working with the printer to get one made so that it has the spiral binding on the side. Because for me, whenever I'm doing my lesson plans, I like for it to lay flat. I don't like to have to keep trying to hold the book open. And also the binding kind of has a tendency to wear out. So I'll show you a couple of little quick things here. The color version has really nice color pages, and I've got room for lesson planning and room for your home routines. Also in the back there's menu planning, a place to write down passwords for those of us who use websites for school, and it's all in one book. And then see the little lovely black and white one. It looks good on the inside, it's just not as colorful. But we've got our little boxes that we can fill in. So I'm excited that these are going to be ready before homeschool travel season for conferences. But I'll have them on my blog soon where you can order them directly from me. Until then, you can find them on Amazon. So enjoy your Monday. I'm excited to get this week started. We've got some things we want to accomplish so that we have another fun weekend next weekend. So if you're finding yourself on Thursday and Friday trying to do everything, start today out strong. Start with your zone mission. Start with that home blessing. And let's get moving so when we get to the end of the week, we're ready for Family Fun Day on Saturday. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the morning.